Welcome back. I am just checking that we are in focus because I have filmed this video 3 times now. I've been messing about with the camera settings, knocked myself out of focus, sat here chatting for 3 hours, and then watched it back and it was all blurry, so what a waste of time. It's all a learning curve, girls. It is all a learning curve. I am just checking that we are. Absolutely. Are we in? But I just wanted to cover a few things. At the beginning of the year, I was going to start a little mini-series and I was going to call it Hard as Nails. I was going to put myself through a series of tasks to essentially change the way I am, basically, in the fact that I am quite an emotional, quite a soft person. Reflecting over the past 3 months, there are little tiny changes that I have made with my mindset that have stopped me being as much of a people pleaser. I think that is my biggest problem. Pleasing, doing things that I necessarily haven't got time for, genuinely don't want to do. But yeah, I do think I managed to savour some of the footage, or the remainder of the footage of the little chin wag that I had on this video. So I'll insert this now. You can change certain things about yourself. If I am a little bit soft, just is me. And so I've spent the last 3 months of this year, the first 3 months of this year, coming to terms with the fact that I don't need to change who I am, and that I actually really like who I am. I like the fact that I'm soft. I like the fact that I'm a little bit emotional sometimes. But what I did need to work on was stopping pleasing other people, panicking and worrying and stressing and overthinking about how what I'm doing or what I'm saying might be affecting somebody else. What I've actually realised is that the chances are that person probably is not even thinking about what it is that I've said or the action that I've took or whatever, because they're probably concerned that they've done something, because we all have these thoughts. Everybody's too worried about themselves to be concerned about what it is that you've done or said that probably hasn't even upset anybody. One thing in terms of self-improvement that I've really struggled with at the beginning of this year that I'm really, really working on now, and I need your help, girls. I need you to be on board. We're all on this little journey together. Getting up in the morning absolutely kills me. I'm absolutely capable of it, but it is something that I'm really, really struggling with. My conscious mind doesn't really kick in and doesn't say, come on, get out of bed. The alarm goes off and I'm like, oh, snooze, snooze. Ronnie's awake, and then I'm like thrust into the day and I think, oh my God, and I'm not really ready. I've not had a minute to come round. I've not had a brew, and my day just starts in complete chaos. So that is something that I'm really, really, really trying to improve on this year. Well, this month, now. I'm working on structuring my evenings so that I can relax earlier. That is what I am touching on in this little vlog. Good evening, girls. It is now, obviously, the evening. It's about 5 to 8. Ronnie had a bit of a later nap at my dad's this afternoon, so he's having a bit of a later night. Well, he'll probably go to bed in 10 minutes. So obviously that's where my night begins. Ronnie and I are going to watch 10 minutes of Hot Wheels. I've been to the gym this evening, did a little bit of an upper session, and then I sat in my car for a little bit and posted a video on Instagram, because if I don't do things whilst I'm sat in my car, then I don't do them at all. You don't want your juice? Look, biscuit.
I do. Where's my coffee?
Where's your coffee?
Coffee, coffee. Coffee there. Coffee there.
Coffee?
A coffee. I want a piece of coffee.
Please.
Please. Come on, Hot Wheels. Come on, Hot Wheels. Mama.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Come on, Hot Wheels. Dada.
Hot Wheels obsessed. So after Ronnie went to bed, I started setting up breakfast for the following morning. Though it is something that only takes a couple of minutes, it's such a lifesaver in the morning when it's just one thing I don't have to do. Weetabix is so messy, it always ends up everywhere. Then at this point, I'm literally writing a list of things that I'm taking to work with me. The following day, I was on a 24-hour shift, so I've got to make sure I've got with me all my meals, any bits of fruit I want, any snacks, anything like that. All my vitamins I take with me. The list I write, it's got the most simplest things on it, but it's all about making it as easy for myself in the morning as I can possibly make it, so that I can look at that list in the morning and go, yeah, I've got that, that and that. Make it as easy for yourself as you possibly can. So, 5 to 8. 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 5 to I actually really need to form some picture or something that used to be where the telly is. Obviously we don't have a telly in our room anymore, so it's just like some holes on the wall. Anyway, yeah, I've gone against everything I normally stand for outfit wise tomorrow for work. I've just come for leggings and a jacket, I'll be honest. Sometimes a day just calls for something simple. So my black Adenola leggings, a long sleeve top and a little fleece. Nice and simple. I've even hung my knickers and my bra onto that hanger as well, so literally in the morning don't even have to think about it. It's 9:05 and I am pretty much ready for chilling now, apart from drying my hair. This bedding should be dry now. It's been dry for about 17 hours. But yeah, I just feel like being more structured physically and mentally in the evening. That's still a bit damp, can't believe it. It is the key. Chances are if you're watching this, it's either because you enjoy my videos, which thanks, or you also feel like your evenings are ruining your mornings. I think it took me a little while to actually acknowledge that was the issue, because every day I'd be annoyed at myself for like not being able to wake up early, knowing that I'm capable of it, but just being so frustrated at myself. And then it was only after a little while, and every day I would have the same argument in my head, backtrack a little bit, and I think, oh, how are my evenings going? And my evenings, I struggle to relax. Sometimes like 10 o'clock by the time I'm actually sat down and relaxing, however that looks to you. I had it in my head that relaxing was watching telly, which it is. Like, don't get me wrong, like I'm not standing here saying I don't enjoy watching telly, because I do enjoy watching telly, but there are other ways to wind down. We'd get into the trap, me and Stefan would sit on the couch, and the next thing our phones were out, then we'd be sat scrolling, and then I'd look at the time and I'd be like, it's 10:30 and we've done nothing but scroll on our phones. Not having my phone as much is definitely something that I want to implement, just to take the temptation away. Going on it for no reason, literally no reason, and then once I've picked it up, it's like I can't put it down. It's like an addiction. Trading that out for a book, which I've actually got a new book. I keep it in the downstairs toilet, but that's not where I read it. About 4 chapters in, so I'm not very far into it. I just found Colleen Hoover's book really easy to read, like, and enjoyable, and like I was picturing the story and picturing the characters and stuff. So I saw that in Tesco and it was only £4.50 with your club card. So I've been reading that in the morning and at night. It's just like me telling my brain, right, this is wind down time. Even first thing in the morning, though I'm not winding down, between getting up and then starting my day, it's like a little bit of a buffer time where I would just find myself on my phone. And again, it's just not a healthy habit. It's not the end of the world. There are obviously lots of worse habits you could have, but it's just not the healthiest habit. Don't mind these pyjama bottoms. I can have matching pyjamas. I always end up in mishmash pyjamas. Anyway, this is embarrassing. So I bought this diary at the beginning of the year and never used it. I just kept looking at it and I thought, well, looking at it's not going to help, is it? So it literally looks like the inside of my brain. I haven't written down anything in any particular order and everything's scribbled and circled, and it literally looks like my brain. But this has helped over the last couple of days. You must have heard of the term brain dumping. I feel like I did try brain dumping a while back, where I would like lie in bed and I'd think about something and I'd think, right, I need to write that down. So then I'd pick my phone up and I'd put it in the notes in my phone. But to me, it's just not as satisfying as actually writing it down. Even writing the smallest of things that it's like, well, I already know I'm doing that on that day, or that's in my head. But it's just one thing out of your brain and onto a piece of paper, so that you can just sort of, for the time being, forget about it, minimise that tab. That's a problem for another day, which you can come back to when you open your diary. Yeah, just knowing where I am over the next couple of days. I don't know whether I've mentioned I've got 3 jobs. Obviously, running the Airbnbs, being at the salon. My salon days are always the same anyway, so being a support worker and the Airbnbs differ from week to week. It's good to just know like where I'm going to be over the next week or so. And it just ties into everything else, like food, what, you know, like if I'm working late or I'm not going to be here, making sure that there is something in for, obviously, Stefan and the kids.
I've noted down a few things that help me wind down earlier in the evening so that relaxing in the evening is getting easier. First things first, right? Have your dinner earlier. I got into this terrible rut and terrible routine of waiting for Stefan to come home from work before I started cooking dinner. As you know, when you've got a toddler running around, our house is not set up like, so obviously when I'm in the kitchen, Ron is in the living room, in, out, in, out, in, out. I got into this routine of not cooking until Stefan come home, and I'd be like, right, what's for dinner? And then looking in the fridge, prepping on having an idea of what you're going to have for your dinner each night massively helps making your dinner a little bit earlier. So what I've started to do now, I'm not at home every day. In fact, I'm not at home most days. But say I've had a little bit of an earlier finish at the salon, or like on a Wednesday when I'm off work, I tend to start making dinner at like 3:30, 4 o'clock. Whether we eat it at 5, whether we eat it at 5:30, or whether it sits on the plate until 8 o'clock, at least it's done and it's prepped. Everything that you've used for cooking, your pans and this and that, can all be cleaned and put away. Obviously making sure that your food's prepped. So this is what my setup is for the morning. Obviously I've done Stefan's as well because I always do. I'm on a 24-hour shift tomorrow. So this is everything that I'll be taking with me. I mean, I could just take these vitamins in the morning, to be fair, and if I've got time, I'll probably do that. It just saves me taking them with me. That's my collagen. Obviously, I'm going to be taking that. Matcha latte, I'm going to take them as well. Meal prep, I'll be taking, and Greek yogurt. Kitchen is closed, so I am a bugger for... I'll just put another wash on. There's some washing in dryer that needs folding. And yeah, if you don't do it, it does fall onto another day, and it's an issue for another day. But girl, we're focusing on starting our relaxation of the evening earlier. So kitchen is closed at 8:30. Nothing else is being done in that kitchen apart from you making yourself a brew and you're going to sit down or put yourself a glass of wine. Other than that, the kitchen is shut. If there's pots on the side, so what? Tomorrow's problem. Just leave it, because you could spend all night. Then before you know it, you're decluttering your Tupperware cupboard. Just stop. Put everything down and close the kitchen. And then in terms of making life a little bit easier in the morning, obviously I've already set up my outfit for the morning. Put a little bit of fake tan on my face. Taking the pressure off having to feel like you need to put loads of makeup on in the morning. For me personally, I know not everybody is like that. I've made a promise to myself to tint my eyebrows and my eyelashes at least once a week. Again, when it comes to waking up in the morning, if your brows and your lashes are tinted, it just makes so much of a difference in the way you feel in yourself. And then heatless curls is another big game changer. Find something that suits you, depending on the way you sleep, depending on your hair type. I'm still trying to find the perfect heatless curl method for my hair. For the remainder of the evening, before I start to properly relax, I do need to make myself something to eat, but I don't know what
For the record, I haven't actually got naturally curly hair, and this method does not work for me. I'm not sure why I do it, because the following 2 or 3 days it looks like I've got dreadlocks. But this girl that you're looking at right now, she had hope. She had hopes and dreams of naturally curly hair, of which she does not. So, yeah. And that, my darlings, is the end of this little video. I really hope you enjoyed it. My evenings are definitely coming together more, like they have definitely got more structure. But I can film a little bit more of an in-depth evening routine if you would like. I have promised a couple of people an updated fake tan routine. Something that ties into this concept so much is waking up feeling confident, because one reason why you might struggle to get out of bed in the morning, or definitely for me anyway, I know it might seem quite superficial and shallow. If you wake up feeling good about yourself, I truly believe this, you have so much of a better day. Like, if I wake up not feeling great, not done my tan, like my hair's a bit of a mess or it needs washing, again, a very superficial thing, I just tend to go through my day just feeling shit, not doing things to my absolute utmost, and you're not really going to get very far in life if you live like that, are you? So I really hope you enjoyed this little video. If it is the first one that you've seen of mine, then thank you so much for watching. Go and follow me over on Instagram and TikTok. It's at @JodeB_. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more videos from me. Anything you want to see from me in the future, then please leave a comment down below and let me know. Thank you so much for watching, girls, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Mwah.